Baby dolls, emergency. There is another hack in crypto. I swear, F this freaking space, friends. I just want to break everything. Curve has had some giant bug. Curve, yes, the one protocol made by all these smarty, nerdy pants dudes. Curve's down 20% already. There's been like a $60 to $100 million hack. There is something to do with some microtransactions or some code. It's too complicated beyond us. We're like, oh my God, what's going on? Now, friends, important context. This is live. I'm bringing it to you live. In very important context, you have a friend out there that you like, subscribe, bell button, all, and he made a video called "How Did This Crypto Founder Dump $160 million of Curve?" Surprise, surprise. Like, you can't make this up. I made a video about this telling you how at risk this whole coin is. Curve is a stable coin DEX. And look, the founder here, I'm telling you, look, the founder of Curve is dumping $160 million through a sneaky snake backdoor way. He bought $60 million of property with the tokens as well, basically. And what he's done is he deposited it to money markets. They gave him credits for it. And this is his bet is, he goes, well, I'm basically cashing out $60 to $160 million. If the market keeps going down and everything in crypto goes to zero, I basically quit anyway and I just grab the money. So he gets the stable coins now, and if they liquidate him, because he owns like the most of the Curve, then it just goes to zero. So this is such a dire, disgusting situation for it. This is why leverage is dangerous, because you are telling the market you have a weakness. This is so extremely important for you to understand this. And what I've done here to show you right now, I've just inputted another dude's address into Aave, and this is just the Ethereum money market. And you can see here, basically, you've got different coins that he can supply. He's got like 40 or 50 million in his wallet. And what you can do is, obviously, you can supply the coins that you have. You get a terrible low interest rate because the market's just flooded. So it's not even decent for yield farming at all, friends, just to do that. And obviously what everybody does is they will go and borrow the coins. Now, that's what this guy has done. Obviously, now the hacker has unfortunately taken all the Curve, and he's just been it's been slapping down. And I've seen reports that the guy hasn't even started dumping yet, which is disgusting. Disgusting. There's just people going like, he can't even exit. He can't even exit. The position is way too big. The hack is too giant. So I have this article here from CoinDesk saying that the project itself has made a tweet. Here we have upwards of $100 million of crypto at risk due to the re-entry bug, which no one knows. Who cares? Viper is a hero from Dota. You know what I mean? Programming language. This is too crazy, friends. It's why all these games and all these things going on, it's really important. It's not worth the risk. You're literally just making a couple of % yield, and we're waiting for the big daddy, the bull run, to come in. And look, it's going to be over before we know it anyway. Because when people do these yields, what they do is, it's funny, when they're earning yields, that's their passive income. And they say, well, I'm going to make like 7% a year. So that means like, in 15 years of me doing this, it's going to be fantastic. You're not going to make it in 15 years, man. We're out in like 18 months. Okay, this is a fool's game to play constantly. So this bug is isolated to Curve. And here's come to block 60. Please note this re-entry issue is associated with the use of just some coding words. This is why this whole space is just full of holes and traps everywhere. Look at this. The highest destabilizers trading for Curve's native Curve token, okay, which is down 17%. We just saw it's down over 20% now. The price action threatened the compound of chaos by potentially forcing a liquidation of the Curve's founder's $70 million position, right? So these types of behaviors, they will just add stress to you over time. There is absolutely no reason for you to go and play around with this. That's why chasing these little games, you are not safe. You have to be super careful with these, especially with these money markets and stuff. I know a lot of us, for example, are in Pulse Chain, and you're starting to see, oh wow, money markets, it's going to make the market go up. Well, yeah, look at this, sending it right back down. If this guy never had such a giant position, then the whole thing wouldn't be at risk. Can you imagine, friends? For example, can you imagine in a money market? Imagine Godwale, for example. Imagine he put up like 1 billion hex, right? 1 billion hex, and someone starts trying to liquidate him. What's going to happen like that? Think about that. Think about this if he borrows on like 1 billion hex, let's say the guy had like 4 billion, he puts 1 billion in, takes the stable coins out, and then someone's just able to manipulate the price down. This is what would happen. You just start seeing hex go off, it'd go down minus 99%. It would go and it would trigger his liquidation price, and it will just come and just start slapping it down, slapping it down, slapping it down. Now, for Curve as well, they've talked about here the issue being isolated. So a number of stable pools, right? So this is, I think, Alchemist ETH. Maybe this is ME, MSS ETH, and P ETH. Using Viper have been exploited. We are assessing the situation. Other pools are safe. So it's just isolated to the Ethereum pool. So this is why, friends, can you just imagine they did this at another time and no one was watching, and these guys just had like, you know, an extra 3 hours to just start dumping. So you never know with these, man. These situations, they're disgusting. It's disgusting to think this whole industry is so paper thin. And bringing up the Ethereum chart, this is a monthly chart for Ethereum. So we are here, baby dolls. We can see right now. I'm actually happy. I know you're gonna sound crazy. I'm happy we got this red candle here, because I know there's no real like method to counting the number of colors of the candles in a row, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow, look, when you're looking at this many candles, I know it doesn't mean much, but the market, it just doesn't like going up forever like that. Statistically, it's almost like impossible for it to keep going on. So I'm glad we got this nice fat reset candle, and we can at least deal with it in terms of an exploit, right? So what I'm basically doing is I'm appreciating the fact that there's a bull market still coming on ahead. And I was always scared. I'm like, how are they going to give this red candle to us? You know, and this is how they seem to have done it. The writers of the show, they've given it to us in terms of just like, okay, here's a little exploit. We're coming in at the end of July and we're going to move into August. Hopefully there's going to be even some more like clarification moving forward, and everything's going to start swiveling up. And this is Ethereum on the weekly chart. And you've got the super trend here. You can still see we are nice, clear in the zone. Funny enough, we are hugging around my golden ropes here, which is just the 21 EMA, nothing special. But when you're looking at this, we are still right in this zone. And this is what we want to see, because in a bear market, bad news like this just shocks confidence everywhere. Everyone's just defeated. No one wants to buy anything at all. But when you're seeing bad news like this come here, you want it to get shaken off. So that's how you know you have early signs of a bull market. So there's always good news and always bad news coming. I promise you, all the time. There's always good news and there's always bad news. The only difference is the collective mindset of the market. How is it interpreting the series of news coming in? When there's, in the bull market, for example, when the bad news part comes out, you get these like little red things down. Even when you zoom out, you're like, huh? I can't even see. You need a magnifying glass. So this is a very, very good sign. And this has happened before. And now I've taken you back to the earlier Bitcoin chart. This is back in 2019. So you wouldn't know this by this candle, but see there, Binance got hacked, right? Not that red one, the green one. Yes, Binance got hacked and it reversed it within like 48 hours. It just started finishing green. It finished like that 3-day candle green. It was ridiculous. So Binance getting hacked here, it's kind of crazy, right? It actually might be one of these ones, but you see how it just shrugged it off. It didn't care. It's because the market was ready. So when you look back, there was the plus token Ponzi here, but coupled with that, the US Fed was hiking, it held rates. It held rates at the exact low here, okay? And it held rates, it actually started cutting up here, funny enough. And I can show you this right now. This is what we're just looking at right here. The US Fed had held rates, and then the market pumped, and then they started cutting rates, and we started slowing down. It's very interesting how this works out. It would be funny if we got some sort of ghost fractal like that today. So hopefully we're doing a bit more hikes. Eventually we do this holding rates season, and maybe we get to continue to flush up. But of course, we don't know the next phase in terms of if they start cutting, if the economy is super weak and there's a zombie virus type of double bottom coming, that's going to be like disastrous. But that's what everybody expects right now. So even though, yes, we're seeing this curve hack, we're seeing all these things come out, but the prices, they're not telling me and you that we're repeating 2019, even with all this information coming out. It just does not seem to be repeating it. In fact, you can even see, friends, if you zoom in, we can see right now, this part up here, we can see in the top right, it is more like the previous, so the 2015 to 2017 bear market. It's more like here. You can see these red, green. You can see these little interchanging of the colors here. This feels like what we have. It's just this slowly grind up part. But of course, this was a literal staircase to heaven. So this is why if you go on Twitter, you look at other YouTubers, what they expect is they go, well, if we were repeating the slow, methodical type of movement part going up, well, perhaps we're going to get that straight run to 2025. That's what everybody expects here. They think we're going to get some sort of repeat in terms of going to 120 up to 200K for Bitcoin. That's what everyone expects. But we can't operate in a vacuum. You know, we have the S&P 500. We are in a fourth cycle for Bitcoin. There are diminishing gains. So there's all these things we can't ignore, even though we'd love to. But at the end of the day, we don't really miss out because we're in altcoins anyway. We're just guessing, hey, are the altcoins going to go 30x or 200x for us, right? So the market's going to give us whatever it wants to give us. And, you know, it's all set in stone from now. And back on the curve thing, friends, this is why it's super important. The more you play around in crypto, you increase your risk of ruin. So here you have this chart here. Look, this table showing you, warning you, okay? Don't trust the curve user interface either right now. The Curve ETH pool, for instance, still says it has a bunch of curve in it, but it doesn't. I lost a chunk of Ethereum thinking this was real. So this is, you can't even trust anything. That's why as Uniswap gets upgraded to have hooks and more upgrades in crypto come, what's going to happen is, this is going to be a rough part. There's going to be other websites which are different layers. So you might go to a website and it will connect like Uniswap in, right? And it will connect like Aave in and other stuff in. But this is where a lot of risks come, because hackers, they don't need to hack Uniswap. They can't, okay? They don't need to hack Aave. They can't, okay? They don't need to hack these. What they can do, though, is you see these new websites that get built. These hackers, these scum thieves, subhuman filth, they can just go to the website and they can modify the display user interface of the website. And what they can actually do is they can edit where the contract is interacting with. So if you're using this website here, so you might go to like a super website that lets you buy, lets you borrow, lets you lend, lets you do all this DeFi stuff. But what you might not know is that it's been infiltrated and someone has changed the buy and swap thing from Uniswap. So maybe people are buying something off there, but what they're getting told is they're getting told, oh, hey, you're actually talking to Aave right now. But it turns out the hacker is basically just giving you one of their useless tokens. But it's just, they've inputted the logo of a Uniswap token. So all this dangerous stuff comes in. This is why it's super important to have a hardware wallet. And of course, they're going to get more advanced as the years go on, because the hardware wallet will tell you specifically on the physical device, it'll tell you, you are interacting with contract AYZ and you're trying to get this token, right? So, you know, token UNI or token ETH. So this is why it's super important to play around with these. And that's why it's always advised, friends, if you ever got to 20, 30, 40 million dollar size, or even much less than that, have multiple wallets. Don't do everything from one wallet. It's very important. This is why I always say you have your deep freeze wallet, very, very cold. Here's a little snow cone. And then you have your little poopy wallets, where it's just, this is a fire flame. Because you don't want to be playing around with the deep storage ones. You really don't. You just leave it there. You don't touch anything. You want to be playing around with these, because everybody is playing around with these new DeFi things. People are starting to see that, like, oh, there's new Coinbase Layer 2 coin coming out right now. So Bold, for example, on Coinbase Layer 2. So people are now noticing these things aren't even out for 24 hours and doing like 2000x, and people like flipping and doing even more than that. So people, like, everyone's getting the idea that they have to be ultra degen. They have to be willing to ape into anything. They have to be like completely on the ball when it comes to these. But it means really shoot fast, think later. And that's why when you're playing into these games, there's higher chance you're eventually going to land in a trap that you're going to regret, because you're trying to chase the wins that other people are getting. For example, one person put in, there's actually a few people, insiders, deep insiders, bought half of the Bold supply at the start. They put in 500K, they turn into 1.5 million. So, and everybody else is just up here clipping like 2K, 5K, 20K. They're trying to make their money. But you got to think, man, like, this person's already up $1 million. They're now betting that this person coming out here without even thinking, they're betting, okay, I reckon this guy who's made 1.5 million, I reckon he's going to become worth 10 million. out of $500. So you see these games being played, friends. Okay, this is on Coinbase, but what's going to be the next one? The next month? You got to think in the next 18 months that you be around here. If there's 2 new things a month, that's 36 times that you might be exposed to absolute poop. And what if 2 of them are fatal, or just 1 of them is fatal? This is why it's really important you stick to this long-term holding mantra. And look, do you really want to live this life? Look, crazy day in crypto. Degen's gambling on base. Curve gets hacked with 32 million Curve tokens in the hands of the hacker. What's worse, there's a $100 million Curve liquidation on Aave at 42 cents. But the founder is currently repaying the debt. So is this honestly how you want to go down? You want to go down by not because you're like, well, the founder cashed out. And you know what I mean? The founder of the coin literally cashed out $60 to $100 million. And now I'm just praying that everything goes. That's not a nice life to live. That's not crypto, this life. Like that, we made this system parallel. Like you're basically all in. So I mean, I hope this has a good outcome for everybody, friends. But you know what time it is. When you start to play in this field, you know that you haven't been doing crypto right. You don't have any belief. That's why when I have my long-term vision, I share it with you, okay, all over my YouTube channel. I share it with you for a reason. It's because it really is the secret. People are going to ask me one day, what's the secret? I'll say, well, if people say there is no secret, but no, there actually is a secret. The secret is you have to imagine really clearly in your mind where prices are at the top of the bull market. You have to imagine it in your head. And you have to use conservative numbers as much as you can. And when you see it crystal clear, like I dream about this every single day. Dreams, nightmares, daydreaming, everything. I think about this all the time. So every single minute, every waking minute of my being, my consciousness is thinking about up here. What are the prices going to be? How do we know we're getting it? That's all I'm thinking about. Which means I know any screw up, 10% here, 20% here, playing around here, it is risking too much because I know this day is coming. Now, people might say, well, you sound like a crazy person. What if the day doesn't come? That's the risk we're willing to take. But that's how you make it. You think long term. You think, okay, screw this curve hack, screw all this other stuff. I know where my bags are going. Okay, I know where my bags are going. If you are in the land of playing with $500 or $1,000, yeah, that's fine. That's completely fine. But that's why I've told you. Listen to my videos. I've said so many times. In the next 18 months, okay, there's going to be 2 types of people. There's going to be the people who go the way of the poopy. Number 1. Majority of people. What is way of the poopy? The way of the poopy people is they will be constantly chasing the latest, hottest stuff. And they're constantly going to be buying the bags of insiders, just like I showed you with base. 4 people bought on the inside, and now there are 15,000 buying the top of the bags for them. Okay, so those people constantly trying to flip. They're reading these trashy Twitter threads. They're like, oh, this guy bought these coins and you just got to copy this guy. Oh, yeah. They're not going to make it. I'll tell you right now, they're not going to make it. It's just day trading with a different flair, different color, but it's still day trading at the end of the day. It still has the same risks. Those are the first types of people that are going to make it. The second type of people, if you have low clip size, that's why I tell you, along this green line, friends, right, you do have a chance to. Can you ask for a second job? Can you ask for more hours? Can you ask for a promotion? Do you have anything to sell? Can you liquidate a bit of stocks? Like some people have 200 grand stock portfolios they built over 20 years. Like, I don't know, take out 20K. It's not the end of the world, man. Your upside on winning from here is a 20x. So yeah, if you lose the 20K, okay, it's over. But if we win on the 20, if you win a 20 or 30x on your 20K, that's an enormous gain. It's asymmetric from here. Okay. Do you have other stuff you can sell? Do you have stable coins to deploy, savings? These are the types of things you got to be thinking about because we're ultimately thinking about that long-term vision. But everybody else, they're not going to believe in this because they don't really believe that we're going to the prices we're going. But we understand that that game, it's still being played every single day. Tell mom and dad, we love them. Give mom a big kiss for me. Like, subscribe, Bob, and catch you in the next one.